Hey everyone, Ben the Bar Guy here, back with another video that usually helps you make better drinks, but today we're gonna do something a little different. We got a video that's a follow-up to our Being a Bar during the COVID shutdown YouTube video on Ben the Bar Guy that has received over 1,600 views, even though we only had 80 subscribers at the time, and we've increased our subscribers over 58. It's also our application video for the Barstool Fund, which is a privately started fund that's helping bars across the country stay open with money from good people like you and applications from bars across the country into their process. And they're submitting videos just like this one to ask the Barstool Fund to be part of the program. So if you want to help us out, support the Barstool Fund, maybe a little like and subscribe. It's Ben the Bar Guy, and let's make better drinks. This video is an application to the Barstool Fund, and it's also a follow-up to Being a Bar during the COVID shutdown, Ben the Bar Guy video on YouTube. If you want to see that video, I'll put a link up here that'll help you guys understand in long form, about a 30-minute video, what has happened in the District of Columbia specifically, but also to our bar. It'll also explain a lot of the issues with the particular rules that the government levied on us that kept us from being able to stay open and employ people. But in essence, the video for the Barstool Fund is more about why and who we are as a bar. When we opened in 2017, we were a struggling little bar that was trying to do something a little different. We have a phrase here at Reliable Tavern called democratizing cocktails. And what does that mean? Well, when we came in, we thought that we could make a regular tavern into a cocktail tavern, something that isn't that popular these days. But we make drinks with exquisitely cut, hand-cut ice that we make in our basement. We also uphold the highest standards of cocktails that we can, even though we're just a bar tavern like any other tavern you might see across the country. The idea was, let's democratize cocktails and make them not such a big deal, but also pay attention to the details on how to do a product right. There's great bars that have great beers, but have the feel of a tavern. Why can't a great cocktail bar also have the feel of a tavern? And it eventually took off. If you look at Reliable Tavern's Google reviews, Yelp reviews, not that we ever look at those or anything, you will find that we do very, very well on all our reviews. And it's because when people come in, they weren't expecting the quality they got. Here's the other thing. Our staff didn't leave. We had great staff retention for years on end. We would barely have to hire anybody. But when we did, we had a training program that we gave to everyone that wanted to come. And that's not just our staff, but people in the entire District of Columbia were allowed to come to our training as long as they showed interest in learning about cocktails. And we would run experiments. We would do taste tests, blind taste tests. We'd have people come in and speak to them from various brands about their products. It was a never-ending learning cycle, and it happened every Thursday at Reliable Tavern in the afternoon. We would pull from that pool of people often to hire, but quickly our staff never turned over because they became a close-knit group of really good bartenders who just killed it. And to watch the COVID shutdown put them out of work here at Reliable, doing what they did best as the best of the best 1% cocktail bartenders, was beyond upsetting. One of the saddest things that happened during 2020 for us was that our great bar owner, the guy I called the bar father, who owned almost 30 business licenses for bars over the course of his career in DC, passed away. Such a sad moment, especially for our ownership group. They were very good friends with Joe, sometimes lifetime, some of them lifetime friends, and it was devastating. Rest in peace, Joe Englert. He's a legend in the bartending industry here. Just a devastating moment for the bar, Reliable. And as we moved through that, we did our best to keep working in his honor and keep a cool bar open like he's always had in DC. And so we've continued to try and stay open. We started new processes. We started a to-go system based on Washington, DC's WISE rule change. They set out a process for bars to be able to do to go and carry out for anything from wine, beer to cocktails, and they allowed them to sell to go and carry out during this process. But they also shortened our hours. 12 o'clock, even though we were paying full freight for our license, they shortened our hours then again down to 10 o'clock. Apparently COVID only wakes up at 10 p.m. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. They cut our capacity, even though our capacity is based on fire code. And if you're gonna cut capacity, why would you cut capacity based on fire code numbers that have to do with people getting out in the case of a fire, not social distancing? So if we have the space to socially distance, we shouldn't be restricted to 50 or 25% capacity restrictions, which is what the district has done. Reliable Tavern was doing fantastically well. 2019 was a great year. We were finally turning good profit, and our owners were seeing results. We were in a good place, and we had record-setting months. 6 out of the last 8 months before March 2020 were record months for Reliable Tavern. We were exploding. Everything was going well. In the first quarter, despite not having 2 weeks in the end of March for that quarter, we had already beaten the quarter before in 2019, which was our record quarter since we opened. Then we went to 1/10, somewhere between 1/7 and 1/10 of our sales during the shutdown over the summer when we finally were allowed to reopen, even with to-go. And then we were absolutely crushed in late November when the district shut us down to 25% and the COVID numbers started going up, which of course meant people weren't as willing to come out. It's been a tough journey. We are still continuing the process of trying to stay open, of trying to do our best to get back to serving drinks. You are the good people who support the Barstool Fund and really help us get open again. If you guys have it in your heart, send some money to the Barstool Fund, an awesome fund that was just started to help bars just like us who are struggling, not because of anything they did, but because of the government rules regarding shutdown. And let's talk about that for just a second. What are the government rules that are really hurting us? Because there are places in the country right now that are doing okay, even though they're reducing capacity and so forth. Well, what's really killing Reliable Tavern? They won't let us play pool, even though we could do it safely. They won't let us play darts, even though we could do it safely. They won't let us play games, even though we could do it safely. They're cutting our capacities, even though it's based on fire code, which isn't relevant during this time, instead of social distancing. They're not allowing basic things like sitting at bars, even though we could put dividers in between people sitting at bars. A lot of things don't make any sense. They're charging us full price for licensing, even though that licensing says we can be open until 3 a.m. on weekends and 2 a.m. every other day, and we're not able to do that. They're charging us full price for that. They're charging us to even apply for grants right now by getting clean hands licensing and our Office of Tax and Revenue licensing documents we have to pay full price for. We would also, if we were up for a renewal this year, have to get a business license renewal, and they're charging us for that too, even though they're shutting us down. So there's no mercy from the government at all. But at the same time, they're shutting us down arbitrarily at 10 p.m. because COVID only wakes up at 10 p.m. apparently. So it's the way the rules are implemented that really make a difference for our business. We did most of our business at night after 10 p.m. because we aren't a place that sells a ton of food. And if you're just selling snacks, people are gonna go to dinner and then they're gonna come to your bar, and that was all killed. Rules are just not wisely thought out. They're brutal on bars like us. If you guys wanna see even more detail, again, check out that video, Being a Bar During COVID Shutdown. But as far as the Barstool Fund goes, we appreciate you guys. What an amazing project. I love how Dave said he was tired of complaining, and he just did something, and it has turned out almost $24 million. If I'm at, I think that's the right number. $24 million for bars just like us. So if you have it in your heart, send a little love our way. And like always, guys, to better drinks, I'm shooting one for this one.